Well, here's a quote we can all live by. Growth should be the goal, not perfection, and without failure, there is no growth. She is wise indeed and joins us now. Christa Janine is a certified yoga instructor, podcaster, and health and wellness professional, and we're so glad to have you with us.
Hi, thank you guys. I'm glad to be here.
And I quoted you directly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny when people do that. It's like odd, but it's nice, you know?
But it's true. It's true, because I think, when we try to strive for perfection, we're losing out on the opportunities to fail, which actually makes us better and more dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. And failure is a part of it. I think, like you said, we all sit in the space of wanting to be the best and do the best. But sometimes in order to learn, you have to fail. And I guarantee that failure, what you didn't do right, is going to propel you forward. You're not going to keep moving forward if you're always succeeding, because you're going to become complacent.
Absolutely. So what are your hopes for 2022? A lot of people, they are still dealing with past traumas. And your podcast, Trauma and Triumph, it talks to a lot of other professionals. You use yoga as part of the healing process. So what are you hoping, and what would you like to impart to our viewers to make their 2022 as successful as possible?
Yeah, I think my biggest thing and why I even started the podcast is so people can understand that we all are going to have traumas in our life, whether they're big traumas or small traumas. And we have the option, we always have the choice to grow from those traumas and learn from them and move forward, or allow them to break us down and not move forward and stay stuck in that time period. And it's a choice. And I think that's the most empowering thing that any of us can learn, is that even when bad things happen, you get to choose to stay in that bad thing or move forward. And I'm not going to pretend like it's easy. It's definitely hard and challenging, but it's worth it. And the other side is so much better. And that's what the podcast is really there to show people, is what the other side looks like when you don't stay and let that trauma break you down.
And in not only your podcast, but also in your teachings and your coaching, not to pretend that it never existed, because unless you reconcile the past, it's very difficult to move forward. You're always going to have those ghosts kind of haunting you, even in your subconscious.
Absolutely. And the thing that I love most about what I do is I connect the mind, body, and spirit. And what we don't realize is when we have trauma, it stores in our body. So even if you don't want to talk about it, it still lives inside of you. And until you work through it, that's going to be a part of you in some way, shape, or form. And it's going to block you from moving forward. So you have to address it. You cannot ignore it, because if you do, you're still going to be stuck. And I think people try to move forward so quickly and say, oh, I'm fine, I'm okay, that didn't bother me.
Right.
When it's you have to give yourself a moment to actually feel the feelings and then move forward. And sitting in those feelings, because feelings are fleeting, they're not gonna last forever. If you allow yourself to feel it, then you give yourself space to actually heal and move forward, as opposed to just ignoring it completely.
Absolutely. And you also have some virtual fitness classes as well. So where can people go for more information on that?
Yes, so my virtual fitness classes, you can go to ChristaJanineFit.com, and I do have an on-demand section, and I think there's over 30 or 40 videos there for all levels. And even the more advanced classes, I have modifications, so you don't be intimidated by it. Some of the classes are a little intense, I'm not gonna lie, but it is, and I use even in my teaching, my classes are challenging, they're difficult, but it's so people know that they can do hard things, whether it is standing on their head or lifting heavier weights or what have you, or going a little harder in cardio. It's so people can know, I can do hard things, and I just did something that I thought I couldn't, and now maybe I can do something in real life that I thought I couldn't.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
Well, we're going to share all of your information also on your coaching and your podcast. I want to thank you so much, Christa, for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We're back
Happy New Year.
in 2 minutes. Happy New Year to you too.